Hi, welcome to my channel. If you've never been to my channel before, hi, I'm Amber Brown, and in today's video, we're going to go and see what happens. We left off in the garden party. The second part of Desire Decorum did not record, so we're going to continue to play and see where we're at. I can fill you in with what happened last time. So last time when I read... she met a couple suitors, and yeah, that's pretty much it. She just met a couple suitors at the party, and her and Mr. McClare are probably going to get together, but we'll find out. So let's get into the book. So this is chapter 5 of Desire and Decorum. The road to London. Okay, so her father in the garden party, when she was talking to her father wants her to go to London to find a suitable suitor because she's an heiress now to her dad's estate at Edgewater. So she's the heiress. She's the heir to her dad's estate. Her dad sent a letter of recommendation, and now with her being, instead of her being Lady Amber of Edgewater, she's now heiress Edgewater, or heiress Amber of Edgewater, or something like that. But anyways, this is chapter 5, Road to London. The morning after your father's big announcement. Your grandmother finds you immediately after breakfast. I knew from the moment he brought you here. That's my son. Wouldn't it let Edgewater go to Mr. Merrick-Laster? I knew he'd want to keep it in our bloodline. But only if I marry a man of rank. So basically, she has to go and find a man of rank that is suitable for her to marry, to claim her dad's estate to be the heiress of it. Is the heiress of the throne or something like that.
Well, yes, you can help to hold the estate against the Countess without support. What can the Countess do to stop me? Oh, anything. She'll attack your reputation, try to convince your suitors that you're not exactly the uncultured meanie they expect. So, you must show yourself to be the most courting, graceful, knowledgeable, and charming young lady in all of London. I will make you proud, never be able to complete. We're going to say we're going to make her proud. Of course you will. You're Lady Amber of Edgewater, and all of London will soon see that. So she's still a lady, but she's an heiress. The marriage market is a game, Amber. You just have to learn the rules. Let's begin. With your portal rivals, other families have daughters debating the seasons as well. The Holloways and the Esters, the Parsons. You turn to see Miss Parsons in the doorway and a wide smile on her face. Apologies for the intrusion. Mr. Wood said you were in here, and I took it upon myself to join you. Of course, we were preparing for Amber's debate. Now pay attention, my dear. You need to know who you'll meet in London. Alfred Holloway is the Viscount of Lochdale. His daughter Felicity will be coming from their estate at Billington Hall to make her debut at the season. Miss Parsons settles beside you and whispers in your ear. Alfred Holloway is an arrogant prig who looks like an Easter ham studied with cloves. You stifle a giggle. Something to say, Amber? I'm sorry, Lady Grandmother. Miss Holloway's family is also tied by marriage to the Earl of Barrymore. Oh, avoid the Earl of Barrymore. His bed has more traffic than Drury Lane. Amber, are you paying attention? Who did I say was related to the Earl of Barrymore? Your grandmother looks surprised, but gives a sly smile. Was that a lucky guess, or were you actually listening? I was listening, I promise. Never you mind. You simply won't hear a word I say when your friend is here, will you? I'm afraid of not, my lady. I am a terrible distraction. You work with her, then. Amber should practice her embroidery as well. Your grandmother sweeps from the room, and Miss Parsons collapses into the settling and giggles. She takes both of your hands, pulling you down beside her. Oh, Lady Amber, I hope your grandmother can forgive me. I just couldn't contain myself. Heir to Edgewater. Don't you wish I had a brother you could marry so we could be sisters in truth? Actually, I consider you my sister already. I'm aiming for a higher title than that. I would rather I could marry you. Oh, and you, Amber. It feels like I've known you all my life. And now we're going to London together. I know, forget whatever the dog-walker countess told you. We simply must have to get the grandest time. It's too nice of a day to work indoors. Let's go to the garden. You and Miss Parsons settled into the gardens with your embroidery frames and baskets of yarn. I never understood why my mother and the countess always sew indoors. A gust of wind lifts her thread, and the thread threatens to carry it away before she slips and pulls it back. Maybe they don't like the wind running off with their yarn. Can you just imagine the Countess running after a thread? Her skirt lifted and her scrawny chicken legs going as fast as they can. You both laugh and Miss Parsons peeks over the top of your embroidery frame. I love your sampler. I can tell you've been practicing. My grandmother says a lady must have perfect embroidery to succeed in the marriage market. Huh. Do they never think how miserable they can make it sound when they call it that? And the marriage market will be exciting. How else are we to meet the richest and most noble men in England? Indeed. Come on, we shall be able to dance and attend the theater. You can tell me you're not a little glad. If it didn't have to end with wedding, I would be over the moon, Amber. Miss Parsons signs. Well, while Harry was alive, my parents never had a reason to put me in the marriage market. We were set. You miss him. Yes, I mean, I was never in love with Harry, but I was fond of him and him me. What if I cannot find even that again? She grows quiet as you both think about the decisions that await you in London. A few days later, Bria is helping you dress for the journey. Oh, I can't believe we're going to London. I thought maybe you'll find a husband there too. You'll be a heartbreaker to leave Mr. Woods. If only I could, but this will be the season. No one will give someone of my station a second glance. Oh, I don't know. All the stuffy gentlemen will have handsome grooms and debauchery manservants. Just looking for a beautiful young country girl. Or maybe you could catch the eye of a wealthy squire with enough money for luxury, but not enough title for ladies to be chasing. Do you really think that could happen? Of course. He'll see you standing there and cross the room, ask you to dance, and everyone will be just scandalized. Sorry for my daughter screaming in the background. And we'll ride in the sunset on his unicorn and live forever amongst the fairies. Nay. Why not? You glance at the clock and jump to your feet. I better get dressed. We're supposed to leave within the hour. I've already loaded most of your trunk. You must pick whatever to wear for the journey. For sitting in a carriage? For meeting fellow travelers along the road. What if your future husband is riding to London right now? She leans you over to the wardrobe. I found the most darling riding habit. Anyone who sees you in it will immediately need to get to know you better. Bria pulls out a military-style riding jacket in Edgewater colors of navy and gold. You try it on and she sets a unique ivory brooch at your neckline. We're habited forming on the road to London to impress your friends and suitors and increase your social standing. Well, I would, but like I said, we're doing that challenge where we don't use any diamonds until the end. So with this one right now, it's 25 diamonds and we only have 9, so we're not going to use our diamonds. Let's see what else we have to wear. We can wear this. I think I'll wear this. Right, might as well not ruin anything new on the journey. You can change when you get there. Change your mind. It's not too late to change your outfit. Just tap the closet button to see your full wardrobe, including free and purchased clothing. Let's see. Let's do our hairstyle up. I always keep messing with that one. Choose this look. Continue customizing. See in the outfits and stay wear. Lower that. You look perfect. Your father and Doug Water Countless are already outside waiting for you. Do you need me to go down to them? I'll finish getting everything packed and meet you, Miss Parsons, in the carriage. Your father and grandmother are waiting in the warm sunshine just outside the door. Amber, I cannot say how pleased I am to have you represent our family in London. I wish you the best of fortune in finding a gentleman of status. Finding him, dazzling him, and reeling him in. I wish I could come with you. You're not coming to London? Not right now. I have a lot to handle on state at the moment, and would prefer not to leave the Countess alone right after dropping that surprise. I will find a husband worthy of Edgewater, would rather stay here with you. Find a husband worthy. It's like I wish I could simply give you Edgewater without conditions, Amber. I know I need support. I know I need a support to claim my rights here. I shall seek and make the best marriage I can. I hope you'll find someone who will also make you happy. A marriage of advantage, but without love, can be bleak. Speaking of the Countess, Countess Hera comes in from the stables without a glance at you. She directs a comment to your father over her shoulder. Edmund and his fiancée have gone ahead to London. I am certain they've already made many valuable connections. She sweeps into the house, slamming the door behind her. Mr. Merricaster and Miss Salton will be in London with me. She sent them to turn people against you, but your grandmother pauses, considering. They may not both be as loyal as she thinks. If you treat them with kindness, you might still turn them against her, one or both. I will try. I doubt I can change their minds. I will blind them with my charms. If the Countess were my mother, I would want to be a rebel. I'm going to say the second one. I shall show them both nothing but respect. Good. Edmund was a sweet boy, but his abilities have never matched his mother's ambitions. A flurry of hoofbeats by the stables lets you know your carriage is ready. Your grandmother calls to you as you start to walk over. I've sent word for one of our grooms to meet you at Miss Parsons at Aldersgate in London. Take you to the townhouse now. Go. At the stables, Mr. Harper is checking to fit the harnesses on the matched gray horses. Good morning, Lady Amber. I see I've been driving you and your ladies to London today. Indeed. You see the injured horse from the other night tied to the back of the carriage and pat her smooth neck. She remembers you. I knew you two had a special connection. I remember you too, beautiful. Nay. Is she coming with us? How is her leg? Oh, she's walking fine again, but the Countess doesn't think she'll fit to pull on Edgewater carriage. She wants me to sell her in London. Oh no. Unless you want to keep her for yourself, she would be a wonderful riding horse. Adopt the horse yourself and gain new companion in London throughout all of your travels to unlock the exclusive scenes. We would buy the horse, but we can't because we don't have enough diamonds. So we hope she'll find a new good home. Hey, I'm sure we'll find a good buyer for her. Well, I best get the rest of the baggage loaded. We'll be leaving in a moment. Mr. Harper climbs into the driver's box. Enter the carriage, my lady. We are off. You sit down beside Bria and across the seat from Miss Parsons as the carriage pulls through Edgewater gates and onto the green-lined country road. Several hours later, the carriage pulls to a halt on a tree-lined dirt road. Mr. Harper leans back and calls to you and the ladies. This looks like a good spot to stop for luncheon. Moments later, Mr. Harper has laid a blanket on a soft grass and unpack a lunch of bread, a cold sauce to meat, sliced meat, and a crisp apples. This looks delicious. The dog water countess even sent lemonade. My favorite. You all fall ravishing on the food. So what exactly does this marriage market consist of anyway? Surely Amber isn't actually to be an auction off. Oh, you best know. The girls from the best families compete to catch the eye of a man from an even better family, and most men try not to be caught at all. Why ever not? I assume they like their independence, or they are unimpressed with their choices. I bet they don't want a girl whose only interest in them is their fortune. It's a game they play because they're bored. Is it different outside the gentry? Aye, when we married, we were looking for someone who help make our work lighter and bring us happiness. If you only know money to gain, you might as well have the joy of it. Well, when it's not because the bride is already expecting, that is, everyone laughs. You stand wiping the last crumbs off from your mouth. I'm not ready to get back in the carriage again. I want to stretch my legs a little, maybe take a look at the lake. That sounds wonderful. I should love to join you. Enjoy our freedom before we're under the eye of everyone in London. As long as you're sure you can keep up with me. Miss Parsons winks at you, but Mr. Harper scans the road with a worried expression. Are you sure you wouldn't prefer me to escort you in case there's trouble? What kind of trouble? Mr. Harper leans closely, mumbling softly in your ear. This could be our last chance to walk alone together for a while. I should like to take this time if we can. Choose to spend time with Miss Parsons or Mr. Harper in exclusive scene and improve your relationship. Walk with Mr. Harper, or walk with Miss Parsons, or we can walk alone. I choose not to walk with Mr. Harper or Miss Parsons. I suspect I have a little enough time myself. Once we reach London, I had it best to take it now. You walk into the dewy meadow, holding your skirt above the grass, and remember running free in the fields of a groven shine. I wish you could see me now, Mama. Sorry about that advertisement. I don't know why it popped up. Shouldn't be any advertisements, but I guess that's what happens. Several hours later, you are dazzling in the carriage with Bria and Miss Parsons. Mr. Harper's voice calls down from the driver's seat. You awake, ladies. We're almost to London. Already? You look out the window and see London is massive, busy, smelly. London is massive. I've never seen anything like this in my life. I thought Edgewater was big. There is nearly 1.5 million people living here. It must be the greatest city in the world. Suddenly the carriage slows and Mr. Harper calls down to you. Was someone supposed to meet us here? You look around and there's no one waiting in Edgewater's livery. No one stopping or looking at you. Does anyone know how to get to the townhouse from here? The carriage is silent and you start climbing down. Amber, what are you? We're lost. You should ask your directions. Go explore. I'm going to start asking people. Someone must know where the Earl of Edgewater's townhouse is. Miss Parsons' worried face looks out of the carriage window. It's almost certainly somewhere near Grosvenor Square, but I could not say exactly how to get there. You take a few steps away from the carriage, looking around for landmarks or respectable-looking passerbys. Faintly you hear the sound of a hoof beats behind you, but they fade into the general din of the city. Lady Amber, look out! You whirl around to see a massive golden-decked colt bearing straight towards you. I should jump right away. You jump to the side, narrowing, avoiding landing in a puddle. The driver frantically reins in the horses, and at the last second they pull up, snorting. Out of the coach window, you glimpse a man's shocked face as your knees buckle with relief. He leaps from the door and offers a strong arm to support. Oh, watch where you're going. If you wanted to meet me, you could have said so. Then offer my greetings and 1,000 apologies, my lady. I would no sooner run down a woman like you in the streets than I would shatter a priceless mastiff. Then I will set myself at ease that you did not aim at me on purpose. The man bows with a flourish. I know it is bad form here not to wait to be introduced, but I am a foreigner and may take liberties. No, I am Imperial Prince Hammond. Envy to the England from my cousin, the Sultan. The Sultan? Yes, His Imperial Majesty Muhammad II, Caliph of Islam, Sultan of Ottoman Empire, and custodian of two holy majesties, or Mosticles, or something like that. As his ambassador, I am delighted to make your acquaintance. Pleased to meet you, Your Highness, Your Handsomeness. Pleased to meet you, Your Highness. You drop your knee in the best courtesy you can manage without dripping your skirt into the mud. Such formalities are not necessary. I am Lady Amber of Edgewater. Prince Hamid's face lightens in recognition. Then you are the Earl of Edgewater's daughter. You nod cautiously. I have worked with your father in Parliament. He is a great man. Perhaps I could offer you a ride back to his townhouse? Thank you, yes, but I have a carriage right. Your man can follow me, but tell me,
Would you not deny me the opportunity to spend these few minutes with you? Do apologize for the injury I nearly caused. He glanced up at Mr. Harper, who has been following the whole exchange closely. He gives a tiny nod. Sorry, guys. You are right. I will not deny you that. Prince Hamid's coach is comfortable, with plumped cushions and well-sprung wheels that hardly join in on their rooting streets. So glad we don't have to use diamonds. I have been posted in London for the better part of 2 years. It is my greatest pleasure to serve my sultan by traveling the world. Where else have you been? Before coming to London, I spent 3 years in Athens, and one at the court of Desire Alexander. It is my aim to see as much of the world as I can. You've been to so many places. I would love to travel the world. London is far enough from home for me. Have you fallen in love in any of them? Let's see. Be polite and say, I would love to travel the world. I can't think of anything more interesting than seeing a whole new country every few years. Then I hope you have the good fortune to see the world someday. I hope so. It'll make you realize much of what you think inevitable is just custom. So what are you doing in London? I am tasked with negotiating a treaty with Parliament, trade, and borders for the most part. That sounds important. Oh yes, tremendously important, but very dull. Prince Hamid winks, making you laugh. But I am fortunate that Parliament moves with all the speed of a glacier, so I have vast amounts of time to feel for myself. By running down your young ladies in the street? Only today, but perhaps it is something I should try more often, should it always introduce me to someone so lovely. The carriage pulls up in front of the stately townhouse. Prince Hamid opens the door and helps you out. I suppose I must bid you farewell now. This is your father's home, and you will wish to see it. Thank you for the ride, Your Highness. The prince bows with exaggerating frown. Lady Amber, I am heart sore that our time together ends so soon. Now that we are here, I wish I have led you through half of the city before we stopped. Are you suggesting you would mislead me? Never. Only take the most roundabout route so I could enjoy your company that much longer. Surely you have more interesting people clamoring to talk to. No, I find you fascinating, Lady Amber of Edgewater. I have met so few English ladies, and none have been like you. I must get to know you better.